Hello, everyone. I'm Joseph Geraputo, the founder and editorial director of Global Finance, speaking from New York. I'll be talking to Melvyn Low, the head of Global Transaction Banking at OCBC in Singapore. OCBC is the second largest financial services group in Southeast Asia by assets and has one of the highest bank credit ratings in the world. This year, OCBC received awards from Global Finance across a wide spectrum of products and services, including sustainable finance, SME banking, and treasury and cash management. Melvyn, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's get started. How has digitalization transformed transaction banking globally for banks and their customers?
At OCBC, we have a wide range of customers that we support, from SMEs all the way up to the multinationals and the government entities. We've seen digitalization transform these different spaces in remarkably different ways over the last decade. We start with the SME segments, and here we see how mobile banking and mobile technologies have transformed the way in which business owners manage their business using mobile apps. Our business banking app has morphed into an app for everyday use for the business owner, where we have packed it with products and services that the business owner can use to run his business from the time he wakes up in the morning to the time he goes to bed at night. Our goal is to make sure that the business owner can use his mobile banking app, not just to make payments and to check his account balances, but to look at FX rates, to look at how his inflows and outflows from major suppliers and customers, as well as to download and upload information into the mobile apps and receive alerts on them. And so in doing so, we'll be able to be the comprehensive app that he needs to run his business. For large corporates and platforms, we see the advent of API technology. Large corporates have all along used host-to-host in order to automate their payment flows and their account information from their ERP platforms to the bank. With APIs, they're able to do this on a microscopic and instant basis over the whole day. APIs also help to enable platforms to access banking services, where we can embed our application of accounts, payments, as well as information services to third-party platforms where our customers interact. Finally, both mobile and API technologies enable the harvesting of a huge amount of data in the payment transactions and in the interactions that the customers have with the bank. These data elements are captured, and we use them to effectively provide additional information to help serve our customers better. For example, we can use information on inflows and outflows to trigger events for our customers to take note of, new suppliers, new increases in purchases from their customers, etc. We can also use this information to check their working capital requirements and therefore recommend financing solutions, as well as FX solutions, to help them to manage their cash flows as well as their risk exposures. So mobile banking for SMEs, APIs for large corporates and platforms, and data, which brings it all together, is what we see how digitalization has transformed our business.
What are OCBC's most innovative transaction banking solutions, and what makes them distinctive?
At OCBC, we pride ourselves in providing the most innovative transaction banking solutions for last mile and first mile needs of our customers. Let me give you an example of a few. We have launched an app called One Collect. A One Collect app is given to small businesses in order to help them start their business and interact with their customers on day one. One Collect has the ability to capture QR code payments, which is very prevalent in this part of the world, to help small businesses who perhaps aren't able to avail themselves of credit card collection modes and want to move away from cash, to be able to launch a digital collection ability for their customers to collect payments for the goods that they sell. One Collect is on the mobile phone. It can be enabled easily, and also to be distributed across several outlets of the same business. One Collect to enable all kinds of QR payments on the same app is actually something that we see our small businesses adopt in a big way. The second product that I'd like to share with you is purchasing card. And purchasing card is not new in the market. Purchasing cards are used by large corporates to help digitalize their supply chain by paying their suppliers, sundry suppliers particularly, through card payment rails. What at OCBC we had done in the last 2 years was to launch a world's first virtual purchasing card platform. Together with Visa, this virtual purchasing card can create a virtual card that can be pushed directly to the employee's mobile phone and enabled within his mobile wallet, his Apple Pay or his Google Pay. And this would enable the employee to do tap and pay at retail outlets to buy sundry stationery or other forms of purchases for their day-to-day needs. All of this is then controlled back at the head office through a series of data feeds for the head office to know exactly what their employees are spending on. The great thing about these virtual cards are that they're highly customizable and controlled. You can actually set the amount, the expiry duration of the card, as well as the type of merchants that the card can be used on. These provide complete control by the head office for all their employee disbursement requirements. We are seeing companies expand their disbursement empowerment to their employees through the use of virtual purchasing card, which is actually a very new space for this part of the world. Finally, I want to talk a bit about embedded financing solutions. OCBC has been working with third-party platforms in order to embed our financial services into those platforms. These are procurement platforms where buyers and sellers come together to interact online. We are seeing that as a big movement in digitalization for our customers, and they're all moving online. Our embedded financing services are empowered by APIs, and we provide things like account opening, financing, as well as account information on those platforms for our customers to access. These API-enabled services bring a different dimension of financial services to our customers, basically banking them where they want to go. So One Collect for the collection needs of the SME, virtual purchasing card, an innovative and new tool for large corporates for distributed empowerment of purchasing, as well as embedded financing solutions via APIs on third-party platforms are some of the innovative solutions that we've provided.
How has digital innovation changed OCBC's services to your broad range of transaction banking customers, including SMEs, large corporations, financial institutions, and government entities?
So let me start off with the SME segment. Our digital innovations have really broadened our services in the SME segment in many ways. Through our mobile banking app, which is the distribution platform of choice for SMEs, we have actually implemented a variety of solutions, such as applying your accounts instantly online, embedding FX hedging as well as FX alerts in the mobile app to help prompt the customers on when to buy their FX. And finally, a tool called Business Financial Management, where we actually use the data from the SME's own operating accounts to chart an inflow and outflow cash flow forecast for them to take a look and see where they are in terms of their cash flow needs. Our cash flow analysis tools can also distinguish top suppliers and top customers, as well as to identify new suppliers that they've introduced and new customers that they have won. This helps the business owner to really manage his business from morning to evening through his mobile app. For large corporates, we have successfully implemented our solutions in some of the biggest and most complex use cases in our market, particularly in the government sector. Let me share a couple of them. The one that we launched 2 years ago was something called GovCash. Now, GovCash came about as a problem statement that the government had in order to provide support, subsidies to the unbanked in Singapore. There are certain tens of thousands of unbanked individuals in Singapore that don't have a bank account to receive these government subsidies. OCBC worked together with the government to develop a solution where these payments could be enabled onto our ATM machines at our branches. The unbanked individual would receive a notification from the government, go up to any of our ATMs at any of our branches in Singapore, scan their facial recognition, and provide their identity card for barcode scanning and receive their government subsidies in cash through the ATMs. Previous to this, these individuals would receive a check and will have to find their way to a branch and wait in long lines in order to encash their needs. The GovCash solution through our ATMs are available 24/7, allowing these individuals to access their government subsidies as soon as they are given and dispersed. And this has actually helped many tens of thousands of people through the difficult periods, particularly during COVID. The second innovation that we have also worked with the government was on an app called LifeSG. In Singapore, LifeSG is a government app that is given to every Singaporean citizen in the country. LifeSG contains useful information on moments of life of the citizen, from his schooling days, birth, schooling, all the way through his retirement and even all the way until his in his old age. Now, LifeSG was enabled to do payments in order for government to disperse different kinds of subsidies through the app and allow the citizens to use the app to scan and pay on QR payments at various merchants across the country. OCBC enabled the scan and pay capability in the LifeSG app, plus the ability to segregate these different subsidies into different wallets so that the citizen is able to use the right subsidies for the right kind of payments. LifeSG is innovative at the core for the government, and OCBC is proud to provide that enablement of the payment services through the LifeSG app. Finally, I just wanted to share a use case of our purchasing card that I mentioned earlier on. Purchasing card, as I mentioned, is for distributed empowerment for employees to make their purchases. We enabled a large tertiary institution as one of our first customers to use the virtual purchasing card in their day-to-day operations. Prior to this, all their faculty members as well as their administrative staff would have to use their own credit cards to go online to make purchases for books as well as stationeries and other materials for their use. They will also need to use their own funds in order to go and purchase day-to-day needs, like, for example, meals or transportation when they were working in the campus. With the virtual purchasing card, the university was able to distribute these cards out to a large number of their employees. The cards can be used to go online to make purchases, or they can be used for tap and pay for their employees when they needed to buy food or stationery at the bookstore, as well as provide a card on file, which is to put the card into their mobile app for their Uber or Grab rides that they take when they move to and from the office. The virtual purchasing card is a totally flexible tool that now enables all employees to be able to spend without having the need to use their own funds and then have a long and laborious reimbursement process to go through. Virtual purchasing card has all the data feeds that go back to the main university admin office, and they're able to manage and control these cards through various means of controls that are available on the card. So we are very proud to announce the GovCash solution that has helped the unbanked in Singapore, LifeSG, which helps every citizen in Singapore, as well as the virtual purchasing card that helps companies, large companies, with their distributed workforce procurement.
Melvyn, this has been very interesting. Thank you for your insights.
Thank you very much.
And thanks to all of you for joining us.